Hey everybody, it's Peggy and I'm back with another video. Today we are talking about scams. Now, what I've done is I've gone into my own Facebook group and I've just looked up the word scam because the topic comes up a lot in any of the social media groups. You're going to see scamming coming up. So I'm going to let you know about one of the newest ones that I've just recently learned about. And then from there, we'll go over some of the other ones that already exist. Yes, there's a lot of scams out there, but most of them are scams. Most of them are garbage, and most of them you can just ignore. Okay, so let's just start with that. Start with that right away, because what happens is how a scam starts is scammer finds out who they build a database. Okay, and how they're building the database is anybody's guess. They build this database. Sometimes they're just sending out randomly. And they threaten you in some way, or they either threaten you, they promise you something, they offer you something, they trick you in some way into believing that something's going on that's not happening, and then you end up getting screwed. So we'll just go over this. This is the newest one. This one's been around actually for years. This one's been floating around email for God at least 10 years now. For as long as well, not even Bitcoin, but this has been around forever. But it's now showing up recently targeting specifically in Etsy. So you'll get a message. Now, I have not seen whether or not this one is showing up in, I have not seen whether this is email or whether it's showing up in Etsy messages. Usually when this scam existed when this scam existed in email, what they were doing was they would start off by hoping that something was going on, and usually they were threatening that I hacked your computer and caught you looking at porn. Here's how you can pay me off to make me go away. This is how this looks on Etsy right now. Dear store owner, followed by the name of the store, I am writing to inform you that I have received an order from your competitors to attack your store. As a result, I will systematically and automatically click on your advertising elements every day. Which will lead to a significant depletion of your budget without attracting customers. If basically the way Etsy ads works is you decide how much money you're willing to spend every day, and then for every click, a certain amount is taken from your budget until your budget is done for the day. So if somebody is clicking, if you're attracting fake clicks, they can use up your entire budget every day without an actual real customer having shown up. Thing is, that's not possible to do on Etsy. Etsy doesn't serve their ads that way. Etsy's not going to serve me the same ad 35 times, and if I click on it 35 times, it's only going to count as one. They're set up. They are set up just specifically to prevent multi-clicking by stuff like this, and you cannot choose what ad shows up in your feed. So no, this is not real. Okay, so this program will use a search algorithm to find your products. Well, no, you can search. Nobody is sitting down doing this, and to the best of my knowledge, there's no bot that'll do it for you. And I'll get to something else in a second, but okay, blah, blah, blah. This program will use a search algorithm to find your products and determine their connection to your store. Well, wait a second. I thought they already knew the connection to the store. This is bullshit. This is designed to scare you, okay? This is designed to scare you into thinking that this is designed to scare you into thinking that you're going to lose, that you're not going to attract new customers, especially if your shop's you're going to be more likely to be scared if your shop's already in a slump to begin with. I want to emphasize that this process will be fully automated. Etsy has stuff built in to make sure that doesn't happen. So no, if the same IP, as far as I understand, if I click through on an ad, then anybody else at the same IP clicking through on the ad is not going to trigger anything coming from your account balance. And like I said, they don't serve up ads that way. They just don't. They don't serve up ads in any way where a bot could go, oh, that's one of yours, I better go click on it and fuck you over. It doesn't happen. Okay, so basically, there is a way to avoid this situation if you send, whoops, that was my puppy making some noise. If you send 0.05 Bitcoin to the following address, here follows a big Bitcoin address, because Bitcoin is untraceable, within 24 hours of receiving this letter, and inform me when the transaction is completed. So you have to contact them. Do you know why you have to contact them? Because now you've proven to them that you're a sucker, and you stay on their list that they're going to start trading around among their buddies, their friends, their this, their that. Anyway, so basically, somebody else has bought a service for me, but if you pay me off, I won't do it. It's like, wait a second, that's a little fun. Who in their right mind would purchase that service to begin with? Not a very good business model. This is so nobody bought this service. This is somebody just is trying to scare you with some bullshit and hoping that you'll follow the right steps so that they can now identify who you are. And once they find out that once you fall for it the first time, you're never going to stop getting these things. And there may be a step 2 if you are gullible and do it. But anyway, somebody tells you to send them Bitcoin or they're going to do something horrible to you. That's a scam. You can ignore it. They don't know who you are. They're using a bot. They're using, those automated phone calls you get. This is your member of parliament with this message. Make sure you go to this website and do a thing. It's called robocalling. He's got a list. He's got a list of information. He's just sending it out randomly, hoping for a hit. That's why they do it, because it's really easy to compile these lists and then take their chances. Anyway, it does go on. I understand that this proposal may seem unpleasant and threatening, but I hope you understand that this is not my fault. I am only giving you a choice now. He's not the bad guy. Your competitor was the bad guy, and he's just helping you out. So that's not the whole thing. There's a little bit more, but I already talked too much as it is, so I thought I better try and keep it quick and easy. So that is the new scam. Somebody has paid me to attack your business, and I'm going to guarantee that, and unless you pay me off, I'm going to guarantee that you won't get any new customers. This guy does not know who you are. He's running a bot. That's why it's dear store owner and then the name of your store, because it's you can set up automated form letters. So he's running a little bot that goes, oh, here's a shop. Okay, let's send them a message. Here's a shop. Let's send them a message. Here's a shop. You can do that, but I'm going to go search out your ads. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. Has never worked that way. It's a scam. Ignore it. Don't communicate with this person either, because don't forget, if they've already got your name in a big list of potential people and you do contact him, now he's got more to go on your email, your whatever, to send you to put your name on other lists for other types of attack, because they've got nothing to lose by continuing to try when all they've done is put your name on a list and they're just hoping for you to send them money. Anyway, that's that one. The other one, another one, okay, so that's the newest one. And it's not new. It's been in email for a long time. The email one usually starts with, "Hi, I've hacked your computer and I've been watching you through your camera and I saw you doing something you shouldn't be doing, and unless you send me Bitcoin, I've also hacked into your contact list and all of your social media, and unless you pay me off, I'm going to publish I'm going to publish you and all of your activity to your friends and relatives." That's usually how that one shows up. Now they're like, "I'm going to attack your business." It's like, it's the exact same email scam. Okay, so the other one, this one here is not new. So we're going to go over some other ones that I just happen to know about that have been mentioned somewhat recently within the last few months this is just scams that have been talked about somewhat recently in my group alone. Don't forget, these scams are out there. If you check your email address, especially if you check the spam folder of your email address, you'll find out that this kind of shit's pretty common, but it's also pretty common. We're so used to it that we don't even notice it anymore. But if it sounds like it's attacking our business, then yeah, we're gonna notice it. And we're gonna get a little bit more concerned than we normally would. So this one here is a different kind of scam. You get a message and they say, "Hi, I saw your shop. I love your products. I would like to order some things from you. Can you please take a look at this list and let me know what things on the list you can provide for me?" Okay, that's a scam, because they want you to. It's not just click a website and here's a list. It's like, download this. That's the first step to downloading a virus, because it is a virus. This is I want to buy things from you, and and in order to do business, I need you to download this. The minute you open the file, it puts a virus into your computer that then sends your banking and all your other details to the scammer. So, the links go to a .rar. If a file, okay, so when you see a file, you'll see file dot whatever. JPG is photos. file number, productslist.exe is an executable. Exe is executable. It's going to open a program. RAR, I forget what RAR actually means. I'd have to look that up. I should have been smart enough to do. I'm sitting in front of a computer, but if I start doing that, I'll be here all day. Anyway, it contains a virus that takes your banking passwords and personal information on your computer. So it's basically going to steal your identity and your credit card. The two ways that you identify it is because they love your products but can't name any of them. And if you're not sure, and you message them and go, hey, what products are you talking about? Oh, just download this. Just look how the file ends. If it ends in exe, rar, if it ends in an extension just don't download anything. Just say, I'm not going to download that. So if you need me to look at this, can you please just open it yourself and copy and paste the product list for me. I'm not doing it. There's no reason for them to do that. There's no reason for anybody to need you to download anything. So these messages have been sent through both Etsy and email. Because when you sign up for Etsy, you have to have an email account. Your buyers can get that email account. They just message you. So they are hoping that they don't want anything. They just want you to open that file because it's a virus that's gonna download, that's gonna take your stuff. Anyway, there's not much more to do than that. If somebody sends you a link on Etsy or through email and says, I'm going to make I want to spend a whole bunch of money with you, but first you have to open this file. Just tell them no. Just say, I can't. I'm on my phone. I can't open that. Can you send me the list? If they're a scammer, they just won't get back to you. They'll ignore you. And if they say, no, I can't do that, you have to open the things, don't do it. Don't do it. But like I said, if it ends in exe or rar, for sure, those are the two that I know about for sure. That's viruses. Okay. So let's see where we are. What's another one that people are talking about? Ooh, the payment decline scam. Is this new? Okay. So this one is somebody sends you a message. Okay. So this one is somebody sends you a message saying, hi, I tried to make a payment, but it keeps declining. And this is what the message says. Hi, I tried to make a payment now, but it keeps declining, and it says your account is not activated. I got an email from the help desk. Please contact the help desk on the email screenshot for activation of your shop. And then it's an email, and then they are providing you. The customer has no need to provide you with the link. If there's a problem, you can contact Etsy. If your customer is, if your shop is showing up now, Etsy glitches. This is what they're counting on. They're counting on you thinking that Etsy is glitched. If somebody contacts you saying, hi, there's a problem, you need to click this link in order to do this and this and this and this and this, because what it's going to do, it's going to send you to a fake screen and ask you to log in, which means that you're going to be giving the scammer your Etsy account details. And then they're just going to sign back in, change the password, take your account. And once they lock you out, it's your word against theirs. And Etsy just doesn't fuck around. They're just going to, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, so this one is... please contact the help desk on the email screenshot for activation of your shop. Etsy Instapay at USA.com. Etsy is always at Etsy.com, not USA.com. I have no idea what this one is. So basically, yeah, so they're gonna forward. So basically, this scam is somebody says, "I'm trying to buy from your shop, but this is what's happening." They forward this to you. They send this to you, but then they also tell you to go activate your shop. And that's not how this works. If the customer can't buy from you, Etsy is not going to tell the customer, "Oh, reach out to this person and tell them to activate their shop." It doesn't happen that way. So this is a redirect that's going to get you to go into a different website that is going to look like an Etsy, but it's not. And you can always tell if that's a redirect because Etsy ends in at Etsy.com. not at anything else. Well, that's the email. Okay, so yeah, Etsy Instant Pay at USA.com. It's not an Etsy account. If Etsy wants you to contact them, it's gonna be at Etsy.com. Always look at if they send you an email address or a website, always look at the ending. Because I can have okay, like I'm up here in Canada, so we have .ca, right? No, Etsy.ca is a thing. I can say Etsy scammer at Peggy.com, and it's got Etsy in the first part, and it's really easy to not notice that the second part is the part that's important. Anyway, what's the next one? Here's the next one. Yes, the free sample scam. Let's just go over. Oh, there's a bunch of them here. This is my post. I made this post about 6 months ago. Okay, I'll just go over this since I already wrote it. I might as well read it. Okay, so another common scam is the free sample scam. So they contact you with a big story about a big event coming up. I'm getting married and I need what's those things you put on the tables? You put the little things, you put the little candies or little whatever, right? Or I'm having a big wedding with 10 brides. Well, not 10. What's a good example? Anyway, I'm having an event with a lot of people and I need to make sure I have one of something for everybody. Centerpieces and stuff like that. Oh, I'm having a big wedding, 500 guests. I need 75 centerpieces. Sure, I need a sample. I need a free sample. Anyway, this involves a story, and it's always a story. It always sounds too good to be true. This is a story about a big event. It's an event. It's almost always regarding an event. Now there's that time crunch. There's that it has to happen now. You don't get time to think about this. It's like I have this coming up. I need 50 of these next month, and I need this and I need that. But before I spend that kind of money, I need a free sample. Oh, I need a free sample. Anyway, so they're buying gifts for a large number of people. They're buying something for a large number of people. But first they need one free sample to inspect and make sure it's going to work. And time is of the essence. I mean, they're asking for enough that you're going to, it's like time is of the essence. It's always a big rush. My whatever fell through and I need 50 of these and blah, 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 blah. And I really like your stuff. They're always very complimentary. Sometimes, usually this one is people that are looking for some free shit and they have some time to kill and are willing to take a chance, right? Here's the problem. There's two problems that happens with this. Okay, so one of the best ways to spot this is that the item is out of place for the event they say they want it for. I need bridesmaids gift. I need 100 bracelets. It's like, you don't need 100 bracelets. You don't have that many bridesmaids. They're saying they want centerpieces. I need 75 centerpieces. So can you make me 75 tennis bracelets? It's like, what? Okay, that's really obvious. That's really obvious. Usually this is most common in jewelry. I will say that. It's you see it most often in jewelry. Okay. So the best way to spot it is if the item is out of place for the event that they say they want it for. Also, keep in mind, if they can't afford to pay for the first one, they certainly can't afford the amount that they say they want. So the best way around, and every now and again, okay, there's two things. Every now and again, that's really what's happening, right? Every now and again, whatever they say is happening is really happening. And so it's like, oh man, I don't want to walk away from the sale, right? So the best way around that is to just say, I don't offer free samples, but I will be happy to deduct the cost from your bulk order, right? Make them pay for their sample. Tell them that they have to pay for their sample. And if they're a scammer, that's when they just walk away. You just won't hear back, because I'll tell you right now, they get the sample and then they just stop talking to you. They just ghost you. Here's your tracking number, your sample's in the mail. You don't hear from them again. And it's not a scam that Etsy can do anything about, because you can't prove that it was a legitimate scam. It's like, well, no, like if they didn't need if it turns out they can't use the product for their event, it's like Etsy by default has to err on the side of believing the customer when it comes to this, because you can't just automatically assume it's a scam, but you can't automatically assume it's a scam because sometimes it isn't. That one's hard to spot, but if the product, if what they're asking for is out of place for what they say they need it, for why they say they need it, or just make them pay for their sample, and then make them pay for their sample, and then that's going to just fix it right there. Because if they come back with, I can't afford that, it's like, well, then you can't afford the bulk order either, so there you go. So yeah, a lot of the times that's just kids or super cheap people trying. You know what? Let's just say super cheap people. It's not always kids. You have to be an adult to get an account. You have to have a credit card to get a net. Well, I guess not. I guess you can do PayPal and stuff. But anyway, there's certain assumptions on how about your age and maturity before you even get an account and stuff like this. Okay, next one is address bait and switch. Now this one is. This one is, you can't always do a lot about this. This is where the buyer contacts you the day after you put their item in the mail, and then they tell you the address is wrong. So, okay, I live at number 1 Elm Street, and my buddy lives over at number 6 Main Street. So I order an item. I set up my Etsy account and say that my address is number 6 Main Street, right? Oh, I live at number 6 Main Street. I'm going to make an order. And then I contact them the day after I get the tracking number and say, oh, this is the wrong address. I actually live at number 1 Elm Street. So the idea here is that they want you to give them a refund, or they want you to resend the item. And at the end of the day, there's sweet fuck all you can do to prove it. Because people fuck up on their own addresses all the time. It's amazing how quickly people it's amazing how badly people screw up on. They move and they forget to put in address forwarding. They address forward, but they just forget to go into accounts, like, you know, they're ordering away on Amazon or on Etsy or wherever, and they forget. So usually they want you to refund the first order. Usually they say refund the first order and then I'll buy it again. They don't want to wait. They're usually in a big hurry. And it's like, so when it happens, if it happens quickly enough, you can sometimes contact the post office yourself and say, hey, I just found out this is going to the wrong address. I need a redirect. And they'll redirect it for you. Sometimes if you get lucky, if they call you up and say, oh, that's the wrong address, it's like, okay, well, just a minute, I'll see if I can get it back from the post office. So the thing to keep in mind is, as long as your policies, this is where you need to be aware of your shop policies, but you are not responsible for them giving you the wrong address. And most people, because again, there's no proof that it's not a legitimate mistake. So this is a legitimate mistake that happens. And so every now and again, there's some asshat that shows up and goes, well, I can get away with it. And they give it a shot. Again, this is back to people with nothing better to do who are trying to get free shit, right? So yeah, they are usually in a hurry. They usually contact you like within 24 hours of you giving them the tracking number. Oh, it's the wrong address. And it's like, well, okay, well, call your post office and put in a redirect. Usually they get the refund and walk away because now they've got their money in their free item. Sometimes they will demand a refund and then demand that you resend the item. And then sometimes they'll keep this going for as long as they can. But like I said, this is a hard one because it's also something that legitimately happens. So it's very, very difficult to spot. It's very, very difficult to spot as a scam because I would say most of the time it's legitimate. And then when it's a scam, it's like, So basically what you want to do is you just want to watch on that one. You just want to watch out. If you get the vibe that it's a scam, just don't let them reorder from you for anything else. You can't, there's no blacklist button on Etsy, but you can keep a little private list of your own that says whenever this person orders from me, I'm just going to cancel the order. And you can do that. You can say, okay, well, thank you. I did that actually. I did that once. Somebody, I don't know if it was a scam or not, but somebody they ordered something from me. I sent it to them and I didn't get it. It's like, you sent it to the wrong address. I'm like, you gave me the wrong address. And she immediately opened a case. I'm like, okay, well, here's your money back, but don't ever buy from me again. And she's like, oh, it's so sad because I'm a good customer. And it's like, no, you're not. You didn't spend a fucking cent. You fucked up. Yeah. Anyway, I need to not swear as much. I keep telling myself I'm going to swear less, and I never not swear less. Usually find ways to swear more. So, let me see what the next one is. Gotta stop and restart. Okay, gotta get that basically the DSLR cameras, most of them have a shut off after 30 minutes of continuous filming just to make sure the camera doesn't burn out. I wonder why our last DSLR died. Anyway, it's a risky take if you're gonna film. Okay, then there is this never showed up. Now this usually happens, there's a note, and again, there is, this never showed up because my kid grabbed the mail for me and put it somewhere I don't normally check to look for the mail and didn't realize it's here. And sometimes, usually it's legitimate, and sometimes it's some shitbag trying to get something for free. And obviously this says, this never showed up, inspired the notice of the package being delivered. It's hard to prove, but they usually disappear the minute you ask them to file a police report or offer to do one yourself. It's like, okay, well, mail theft is a serious crime in the United States. Usually I'm not saying usually it comes from the States. I'm saying that a huge percentage of buyers are in the States. So, but you just go, oh, mail theft is a huge problem these days, I guess. So, okay, well, go ahead and file the police report, and I'll do what I can do on my end. And then they go away as soon as you say that. But it's usually legitimate. It's usually, porch pirates are a thing, right? It's usually legitimate. One thing you can do to prevent it, the only preventative that I know for this scam is to have your policy set as no refunds, no cancellation, no refunds or exchanges. Because as long as it's in, we are not responsible for loss or damaged mail, no refunds or exchanges, because that's a strong hint to them that if something goes wrong, you're not going to help them. Doesn't mean you can't, right? But it means that if somebody contacts you and says, my package never showed up, it's like, well, okay, well, my policies say no refunds or exchanges. My policies also point out that I'm not responsible for loss of stolen mail, and you're giving me a bad vibe, so no. But a lot of times if they see no refunds or exchanges in your policy, it's like, there's no point in trying. I have to put too much work into it. So it does act as a deterrent. I will say that's my policy, and I've only ever had that happen once, and that was like within my first 20 sales 5 years ago. Okay, so this next one is a downloadable scam. I can't open these files. So basically for downloads, sometimes people can't get a file to open and they ask you to send an email copy. Problem is, okay, so I'm just going to read what I wrote. For downloads, the easiest way to spot this one is that they claim there is a problem with the file and want you to email it to them. They're very insistent that you must email it to them. Okay. Now, anybody can download a file, even if they can't open it. You can download a file onto your phone, even if it's not, if the file is not compatible, you can't open it, but you can still download it. Okay. So this is, and if you are selling downloadables, you can check and see if the file has actually been downloaded. So if they're like, I can't get this file to open, it's like, oh, well, no wonder you haven't downloaded it yet. Go download it. I have. No, you haven't. Well, try again. The system says you haven't done it yet. Okay. Anyway. So if you check the order, you'll spot the scam because you'll find that they never downloaded the file. This is important. Once you send the email, they'll claim that there's an issue and this is just too hard. This is just too hard to do and I want my money back. This is not working out because now they've got the file in email. Okay. The only time Etsy will support a refund on downloads is if it was never downloaded. Okay. If you have your file set up as a downloadable and it was never downloaded and the customer comes back and says, I want a refund, there's a problem, this isn't working, Etsy has no access to your emails. Okay, they cannot see what you've emailed. So when it's your word against Etsy's, they very rarely will take anything other than Etsy messages and they'll say to you, they never downloaded the file, they get a refund. So your very first, if they're claiming there's a problem because I downloaded the file and it won't open and you can see that the file was never downloaded, talk them to the download. Sometimes it is a mistake. Sometimes they think they've downloaded it and they haven't. And that can happen. But if they are saying they've downloaded it and it's not opening, or I downloaded this and it's a corrupt file, before you do anything, and obviously it's your shop and you need to make your own choices. Sometimes it's easier to just go, I don't need the drama. And I'm not going to criticize anybody from going, I don't need the drama. I'm just going to send this guy the email and take my chances, whatever. But check your file, check your folder and see. And I don't do downloads. I'm not 100% sure where you check. If you sell downloadables, figure out how to go check and make sure that the file's actually been downloaded. And do that first before you even reply to the customer. Because if they're saying, I downloaded the file and it just won't open, I need you to send me an email. Usually it's, this happened and this is what I want you to do, all in one step, right? Not, I can't get the file to open, what's going on? No. I can't get the file to open. You need to send me an email, right? They're usually, because they want to create a sense of urgency. I've got this file. I'm printing this off for my daughter's birthday. I need this by tomorrow. It's like, that's too bad. It's too bad. Download it then. Anyway, yeah. So once the customer downloads the file, Etsy will not let you refund them. I don't think. I guess you can manually refund Etsy. Once the customer downloads the file, they can't open a case. Right? But if they haven't downloaded the file, this file won't open because they never downloaded it and they're trying to say that they have. I need you to send me an email. You send the email, they open the case, they're going to get their money back, and it's going to happen very quickly because they never downloaded it. Anyway, I really don't have any information on how often that this can happen accidentally, but we do see it a lot. Somebody in my group, this was like, oh God, maybe not even my group, but somebody a couple of years ago, somebody went into their shop and ordered like 35 downloads, right? Contacted them and said, there's a problem. These aren't opening, blah, 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 blah. They were miserable about it. And I need you to, and so the seller emailed them the files. The minute the email was sent, they opened a case and got their money back on all 35 because they'd never actually downloaded it and the seller forgot to check. Always talk them through the download process, because until it registers as downloaded in the system, Etsy will give them a refund if Etsy will let them open a case and give them a refund because they never downloaded it. Anyway, another one is review extortion. Now this has been going around for as long as Etsy has been around. They buy an item, they claim there's a problem, and if you don't you need to give me a refund, and no, I'm not sending it back, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make sure I tell everybody about this in the reviews, right? So some of them are really good about implying in ways that Etsy can't do anything about, because there are very clear laws and regulations on when and where Etsy can step in and go, you're a problem. And some of them have been doing this for so long, but it's not necessarily a scam. It's just bullying. You do what I say, or I'm going to give you a bad review. The minute you can get them to be blatant about it, if they are blatant about it, it's like, no, I've already decided that I'm returning it. I've already decided that you are refunding me in full, and no, I'm not sending it back. And if you don't do exactly what I say, I am giving you a low review. Oh, so what's the problem with the product? Oh, there's no problem. I've just decided I'm not paying for this, and you're going to do what I tell you, or I'm going to give you a low review. Then you can just contact Etsy and report them. I will say one of the biggest reasons why this continues to be a problem, and it's relative. It's very, very relative. One, if your policies are if your policies are set to no returns or exchanges, you see way less of it. Just because your policies are set to no returns and exchanges doesn't mean you're not allowed to give a refund. It just means that you have more power to say no. They usually do go after shops with generous return policies. But it's not really a scam. It's outright bullying. Period. And stop. That's what it is. And usually they go after newer shops because they know, as a newer shop, I've got like 5,000 reviews. If somebody gives me a 1-star review, I seriously don't give a shit. It's like, okay, you're gonna what? Do absolutely nothing to me? So the bigger your shop gets, the more immune you are to being even bothered by these people. But I will say that the more that we do behind the scenes as sellers to report when they're being bullies like this, even when Etsy doesn't take your side, report them anyway. because that's the only way that Etsy can find these people is through sellers reporting them. And a lot of sellers are like, even if you as a seller go, okay, I don't need the drama, it's like, I'm just going to give you your refund. Abuse@etsy.com and tell them what happened. Give them your name. Hi, this is who I am. This is the name of my shop. This is the name of my customer. This was the, send them screenshots because of personal information and privacy laws, not every department has access to every section of the behind the scenes of your account. Because you don't know, say, this is the name of my shop, this is who I am, this is the name of the customer, this is the interaction, send screenshots. I felt bullied, I felt threatened, I felt like this person was taking advantage of me. Send it in. And they're going to ignore you. They will ignore you. They will. They've got 98 million buyers, 7.5 million sellers. I mean, they're not going to respond to you. But what they're going to do is they're going to put a little tick and go, oh, this customer had a problem. I mean, this customer caused a problem. This customer caused a problem. This customer, they keep track. They keep track behind the scenes, and then they're going to look down. We always talk about our score as a seller. Well, there's scores but that buyers get too. If you are a buyer who opens a case every single fucking time, sooner or later, Etsy's just going to get rid of you. They keep track. So problematic buyers do eventually find their way onto Etsy's radar, and Etsy gets rid of them. But the reason why some people are so blatant and careless and rude and whatever is because they've been getting away with it for so long. The reason why they're getting away with it is because nobody's reporting them and it's not coming to Etsy's attention. Expect to be ignored? Do it anyway. You're doing yourself. You'll feel good getting it out, and you might just do we need this to be something that we as sellers do more often, is to report problematic customers, especially if they're potentially scamming or abusing the system in any way, shape, or form. Review extortion is, by the way, one strike and you're out. As a buyer, if you get caught, review extortion, if you get caught doing that, it's my understanding, but if you get caught doing that, in one strike and you're out. And don't forget, if you are, the weird thing is that some of the worst people for doing this are sellers, because they know a little bit more about behind the scenes and know how strong the chances are that a buyer is just going to do what they want just to shut them up and get on with their day. But if you lose your buying privileges and you happen to have a shop, you lose your shop privileges too. But yeah, when you abuse@etsy.com, when you think you're being scammed, especially when you think something's going on, especially if a customer's swearing at you or doing this or doing that. I don't know about the current app. They just switched out the app. On the old app, you could literally report messages. So they would see the connection immediately, but I'm sure the new app will have that. I don't use the app I very rarely look at the app, but because I work from home, I'm here all day. I just have my computer on. Okay. So now this is a weird one. I'm going to address this last one. Let me see. Oh, here's the other one. Okay. I want to order an item. Somebody's contacted you. I want to order this thing. Oh, I want to order this item. Oh, and by the way, I want it shipped to my cousin in Quebec as a birthday gift. I would like you to also get a gift card for $500 and include it in the package before shipment. So this is a gift card scam. This has been around for a really long time. I'm a U.S. Navy officer. They're usually something that you can be proud of and look up to, right? So I won't be able to do that. So I will add $600 to the payment, $500 for the Google Pay gift card, and $50 for shipping, and $50 for gas and stress. Never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, agree to these agree to these requests. Because what's going to happen is, you're going to do this. $500 is above the insurance limit for the post office. Unless you purchase additional insurance, which makes your shipping really expensive, what is going to happen is you are going to say, okay, I got the $500 gift card. Oh, okay, everything's in the mail. Oh, okay, everything's on its way. The gift card is the instant they get the package, or maybe even before, They are going to want their money back. What's going on? That gift card, there was no gift card in this package. You're ripping me off. I want a refund. And they're going to go to Etsy and claim that you never put the gift card in the package. And then they're going to get a full refund and walk away with the product and the $500 gift card. So what was that last one I want to go on? Fiverr. Let's talk about Fiverr for a minute. Fiverr is a service where you can hire virtual assistants. You can send somebody your photos. They will Photoshop them, clean them up for you, send them back. Product listings. You can hire people on Fiverr to do all sorts of work for your shop, for your website, for whatever. Art. You can hire people on Fiverr to do art for you that you can then sell. The problem with Fiverr is that the virtual assistants, the people doing, a lot of the people coming out of Fiverr are going to give you a substandard product. They are going to give you substandard work. They are, oh, I'm an artist. Hire me on Fiverr, and for $10, I'll draw you this really great thing, whatever. And you're going to get it. And it's either A, going to look like shit, or it's going to be something that they've just copied and pasted off of somebody else's art website. The unfortunate problem with Fiverr started off as a great idea, and there's still a lot of great stuff happening over at Fiverr, but it's also full of people just looking for a buck. Now, if you want to go onto Fiverr looking for somebody to work for you, then you can curate them yourself. Double check all kinds of stuff about them. But if they're coming to you, hi, I'm Fiverr. I work for Fiverr, and I can be your virtual assistant, and I can do this, and I can do that. There's usually something going on. At its worst, there was a Fiverr guy. This is not the first time this has happened. There was a virtual assistant, and apparently, he was working through Fiverr. And he had like 30 or 40 clients, whatever. Well, he was doing all kinds of sketchy shit. So one shop gets shut down, and because he was accessing everybody else's accounts to manage their accounts for them in the background, everybody's account got shut down. There's more to it than that, and I'm not going to get into it. But I will say that if you have an interest in Fiverr and looking for somebody on Fiverr to do work for you, there's plenty of information out there on how to find somebody who's good at what they're doing, who's not going to scam you, there's plenty of information on what you should be looking for and how to look for it. But what I will say is that when you're in a social media group or minding your own business and they're reaching out to you out of the blue, those are the ones, unfortunately, the ones you should not trust. Every now and again, they might be just some guy that's hungry for some work. It's like, okay, I've got this Fiverr and I'm doing this. I better go drum up business. And maybe they think this is the best way to drum up business. But it's also the best way for scammers, because scammers will go hunting around for people who they think are going to be easy targets to get a quick buck. And unfortunately, I've heard of some pretty shitty behavior coming from Fiverr experts, but I don't want to crap on Fiverr as a platform. What I want to crap on, what I'm actively crapping on, is the people on Fiverr who shouldn't be on Fiverr. And unfortunately, if you're just sitting there minding your own business and the Fiverr people are coming to you, those are usually the ones you shouldn't be looking for. I've been on Fiverr a couple of times going, this is interesting. What's this all about? And I found some guys on Fiverr who was like, oh my God, I would work with this guy anytime, like 500, they've done 500 jobs. They've got straight 5-star reviews, nothing but positive, reasonable prices. And then there's other guys on there that it's like, yeah, I hired this guy to do some cover art for my, to do my logo art. And it was basically one step up from a stick man. So Fiverr comes with such a huge range of talent and such a huge range of risk. So keep that in mind. I don't want to call Fiverr a scam. Fiverr isn't a scam, but scammers do take advantage of Fiverr. And quite often, I run my group. I see them from the back end, and I swear to God, I get about 10 a week. And they're always just, you can tell. Like, I don't know how to describe this, but it's like, if you're good at what you do, you shouldn't have to, if you're good at what you do, you should be in a professionals group learning how to hone your skill, but you shouldn't be trolling around random Facebook groups looking for business. Anyway, and every single Fiverr person every single person on Fiverr who I have ever seen, this is the crappy part. Because I'm not just in my own group. I'm in a bunch of other groups. Every single time I've seen a Fiverr person show up, what they're offering is substandard and questionable. That doesn't mean Fiverr is a waste of your time, but it means the pick-me guys that are going, look at me, I'm in your social media group now. Can you hire me? That's the guy you don't want to hire. Just keep that in mind. And like I said, Fiverr's not a scam, but I will tell you that the pick-me boys who are constantly showing up in social media groups begging for business, you don't really want to trust them. Anyway, but that's my personal, that's a personal thought on my end based on what I've personally seen. Maybe what you've personally seen is a much better snapshot of what Fiverr is all about, but when I see the pick-me boys running around going, oh yeah, I'm a Fiverr executive and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nah, you're not. Well, you work for, you have a Fiverr account, but you're not, maybe you're some kid just out of college who doesn't know anything yet. I don't know. Or maybe you're just going to take my $20. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I hope that was helpful information. I hope that was, that's the scammer review. I think I need to do more of these talking about scammers. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things so you can catch the next video. Some of them are good, some of them are awesome. So, you don't want to miss one. In the meantime, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.